Hey, good to see you. Today we're going to talk about something fascinating, how big Amazon really is. And the story behind it.
That sounds simple, but I'm guessing the answer is much more complex.
Exactly, and to understand Amazon today, we need to start with its founder, Jeff Bezos.
So what made him start Amazon?
He was working at a hedge fund in New York, with a very stable and high-paying job. But he saw that the internet was growing at over 2.000% per year.
That must have felt like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Exactly, so he quit his job and drove to Seattle to start an online bookstore.
That sounds like a huge risk.
He used something called the regret minimization framework. He asked himself, when I'm 80, will I regret not trying this?
So he started small, but with a big vision.
Yes. His goal was always to build the everything store. Fast forward to today, Amazon generated about $726.75 billion in revenue in 2025. That's up from about $637.96 billion in 2024. That's roughly a 13.9% year-over-year increase. It even surpassed Walmart to become the largest company by revenue.
That's unbelievable for a company that started with books.
Amazon now has over 310 million active customer accounts globally.
That's almost like a digital country.
And Amazon Prime has around 220 million paying members worldwide. Some estimates suggest it could be close to 250 million.
So a huge portion of users are deeply connected to Amazon.
As of 2025, Amazon operates around 350 fulfillment centers globally. If you include all logistics facilities, the number exceeds 1.200 sites.
How big are these warehouses?
A typical fulfillment center ranges from about 55,000 to 93,000 square meters. Some exceed 100,000 square meters, like the one in Phoenix. That's roughly 28 soccer fields.
So what's the total scale?
If you estimate across 300 to 350 warehouses, the total footprint likely goes far beyond older figures like 150 million square feet.
So Amazon didn't just scale software, it scaled physical infrastructure.
But here's something many people miss. The most profitable part of Amazon isn't retail.
You mean Amazon Web Services?
Exactly. AWS generates a large portion of Amazon's operating profit. What's interesting is that AWS isn't the largest in revenue, but it dominates in profit. In 2021, it contributed around 13 to 16% of revenue but about 70% of operating profit.
That's a huge imbalance.
In Q2 2025, AWS generated about $30.9 billion in revenue, growing 17.5% year-over-year. By Q3 2025, its annualized run rate reached about $132 billion. And in Q3 alone, it generated about $11.4 billion in operating profit. That's roughly two-thirds of Amazon's total operating profit.
So Oz is basically the company's cash engine.
Exactly, and now it's also powering AI workloads across the cloud. Amazon's advertising business is also massive. In 2025, it generated over $68 billion in revenue. Recent quarters range between about $14 and $21 billion. And Q4 2025 alone reached about $21.3 billion.
That puts them in direct competition with Google and Meta.
One key idea behind Amazon is customer obsession.
So they prioritize customers above everything else?
Exactly. That mindset drives everything they build.
What about the future?
Amazon is investing heavily in AI, data centers, and custom chips.
And cutting corporate jobs at the same time.
That shows a shift toward long-term infrastructure for the AI era.
At the end of the day, the most interesting part isn't just how big Amazon is.
It's how it got there.
From a simple idea during a road trip, to a global system powering commerce, cloud, and AI.
That's the real story behind Amazon.